All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Banter. Evans, Justin, we got some Makers Mark sitting here.
I almost feel weird saying that we have Makers Mark because that's not been a popular bottle in but one video that we did, which was bourbon and soda. So this is going to be a stretch for me to do as far as that goes because it's not always a common one that comes up, but it's a very beloved bourbon. It's got a good history, goes back into the 50s. Obviously, the distillery goes back further than that before it changed, so if we get into a little bit of that. But it was a great time at Bourbon Festival. That's where both of these bottles came from. So we figured the best way to bring Maker's Mark out.
Yeah.
Let's see what an honest opinion of the Maker's Mark Cellar Aged is from 2024 release.
Instead of what we thought of as mixing it, let's try it. Let's try it straight up.
You good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
All right. So again, thanks for joining in. Cheers, and what's in your glass?
Yep.
It's about to be Maker's Mark Cellar Aged.
Yes, indeed.
I'll let you pour yours first.
All right.
Oh, I had a good little pop.
Got the pop. All right, and Justin, how about those socks? Are we wearing some socks today?
Definitely have bourbon socks on. I am getting more mobile from the surgery and the PT, so we're doing good there. These are ones that match my shorts. Got a little bit different color to the room for 2025. Thank you for the team that did that, and we'll see what the bourbon room has to go forward with, and maybe next time we'll have, I don't know, some stuff on the walls.
Yeah, we'll have a few changes. As you just look for the changes in the videos and everything, hit that thumbs up, like, and subscribe.
So I did try this for the first time at Bourbon Fest.
And cheers. Yep.
This is the best Maker's Mark product I've had in my life.
I'll tell you what.
Let's see if it stays the same.
I will agree with you on that. And then one I'm really curious about is this one. That's the one I'm.
This comes from Bourbon Festival also.
Yes.
This is the
marshmallow.
Yeah,
right?
toasted marshmallow, and it was good then. But I haven't had it. I haven't had it since.
Yeah, it's been what about?
Well, it was September.
Yeah, so September. Yeah. I'll tell you what. This one I think will hold up.
The nose on the Maker's Mark Cellar Aged is fantastic, actually.
Is.
And that was one of the things that impressed me because I was never a Maker's fan, and I've openly admitted that multiple times.
Yeah.
Until we did the bourbon and soda, that Maker's and soda. I think it was cooked at the time. Was actually really good.
It was. It was very good.
And so I'm interested to see if it's the older version. This is what the best of the best that they produce. Let's see how it is. And haven't had it since then. Let's see how it stands.
It's a very different nose to me than regular Makers. So if you were to just pour regular Makers, it's totally different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. This, to me, Maker's Mark still has a little bit of youthfulness to it.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what.
This has a lot of depth going to it.
Oh, yeah. The nose. And it's kind of one of those noses that we like. It's kind of a muted nose a little bit,
It's not overly effervescent, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And immediately on that first initial sip, I get a nice coating on the front and the mid palate of the tongue. But then when it rolls back, I get a little bit of warmth in the chest cavity, but it's got a really good flavor to it. And it says nothing to me that this is Maker's Mark.
No, not at all. And it is good.
I am hard pressed to believe that is a Maker's Mark product that they couldn't produce on a regular basis. I think that they could, and they just don't.
I think they could too. I think it's one of those where they were trying to maybe buck the system a little bit and just stick with their bread and butter.
Continue to create demand for the reason to buy Maker's Mark products.
Yep.
So when you do things like this with these stave projects and things like that, or when they do limited editions, or we all know that they do all kind of different wax dippings and colors for like different horses that have won, and all that fun stuff. Even the gold wax, which the store that I started at in 05 had an 05 bottle, and I tried to get that bottle, but that was denied, a long time ago. And I've never tried a gold wax. I've seen them.
I have not even seen one.
Yeah, and they're different shapes, and some of the older ones are slightly rounder. Then they got more, I guess, of a jagged edge to them eventually. Now, I'm guessing they still do those. I don't do a lot of Maker's Mark stuff, so I'm not going to be the one to say, oh, all this information about it. All I can tell you is that a lot of people think Maker's Mark is a really old brand. It's not. It's from the mid to late 50s.
Yep.
And that's when it started and debuted, and there you go. That's the short version of all the nerdy part of that. Without getting into it, trying to stay on track with just giving our honest review of the Cellar Aged.
First sip, I'm impressed. Now, what I'm curious about is with me, been drinking this. Second sip, I don't get that burn. I don't get that warmth anymore.
Ooh, no, that's all flavor now.
Yep.
That's interesting that happened, and then it just completely went away. But it didn't surprise me because it is a wheated bourbon.
Yep, I
agree.
agree.
Is very soft, for the most part, very tasty. Alan is in the background, and so is Keenan. Alan, while you're in the background, what is your thoughts on the 2024 release? He was there at the Bourbon Festival when this bottle was acquired. what is your thoughts on this, real quick? While you're, you can stand up, get close to the microphone if you need to. You don't have to be on camera or anything like that.
Yep.
What were your initial thoughts when you tried the 2024 release of the Cellar Aged?
Well, the Bourbon Fest is pretty fun because they're just bringing around samples on trays. And I remember thinking, gosh, I wish I hadn't had my first 50 samples.
That's very true. Witness.
Yeah.
Witness.
At the same time, I'll say that it is really nice. That 12 years on that age is really noticeable. The oak is really nice. It's balanced. It's one of the first times we've gotten to experience something quite like that with Maker's Mark. But I will also say that the 2024 release of Cellar Aged is markedly better than the 23.
Okay.
This right here, to follow up with what you were saying right there, makes me want to try the 2023
Yep.
because I never have, and I didn't have any interest in it. And then I was convinced to try this at the Bourbon Festival, and as witnesses in the room heard me say, this is the best Makers I've ever had. And I was like, this is a great product. I will, this is a good one.
You know what? For me, it's a good drinker. It's a very good drinker.
Yeah, and now I'm not super excited about the price point.
No,
but
price point's a little high.
Bourbon is going that way in a lot of things,
Right.
and so when you're getting up there in age, in that 10 plus range, we're seeing a lot of other brands that are going way above the $100 mark.
Right.
But then we still have a couple brands, like Eagle Rare or Henry McKenna, for instance, that are below the $100 mark.
Yep.
But so this one goes above it. But what I would say is it is a good drinker, and I think it's worth having. And just off of, I'll go through my 3-sip process before I give it the barrel char stage rating. But I'm really impressed with this one, and it's very easy to drink.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at it whatsoever. Whereas normally I get this weird twinge from a Maker's Mark product that I don't get.
A lot of times for Maker's Mark kind of makes me feel like I'm getting a little bit of heartburn. I just get that burn right there, and it just kind of just stays.
Yeah,
It
that's
doesn't
that twinge,
dissipate.
which unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I don't know what heartburn is.
Yeah.
Which I'm
Fortunately.
super stoked about that.
Yeah.
But it's just this tightening of it feels like the ethanol has collected in one spot in the chest cavity and
just
said,
doesn't
oh, I'm
go
not going to go away.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what though. What I like what Maker's Mark is doing is what they're doing now. I think they're putting out some pretty good stuff to compete. Granted, like you said, price point not as happy as I'd like to be, but it's it's kind of on par.
But I have paid more for worse.
I have too.
And that's the other thing that keeps me going with this Cellar Aged is the fact that this one was so impressive. I now want to, after Alan saying that it's markedly better than the 23, I kind of want to try that
Yeah,
one
I do
to
too.
see where their release was at on that. And it really has me reeling and wanting the 25 release.
Now, I wanted to get another one of these because I've got another idea for a video too.
Oh, okay.
So we'll have to do that off camera.
Well, like and subscribe so that you guys can definitely stay tuned to see the next video.
Exactly.
As far as that goes. And I believe we're going to, rate this one real quick. This is a quick hitter video just for Maker's Mark Cellar Aged since this was after Bourbon Festival. Now, this is our second video for 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, 2025 has not been terrible.
Not at all. I'll tell you what. We have not had any bad bourbons, that's for sure.
No. What's your thoughts on doing a recap of the best pours of 2024?
We need to do that.
That could be a good one.
Yeah. I think that would be a great idea.
Comment, let us know if we should do a recap of some of the best pours that we experienced of 2024 and put them in a rating order if you want us to, or just discuss what they were and why we liked them so much at the time.
Or if we missed anything in 2024, let us know what you'd like for us to review in 2025.
All right, so I'm going for my final on this one, and we'll do a little rating on this one, and we'll move
Quick
forward
rating.
to the toasted marshmallow.
Yeah. I'm curious about that one. It makes you, the name of it makes you think it's going to be really sweet. Have that really sweet.
If you're going to say marshmallow and toasted in the same sentence,
Yeah.
descriptive adjective,
Makes you think of campfires and s'mores.
Yes, indeed.
I'm gonna
Campfires
go with sweet. It has to be.
Yeah.
It's got to
Yeah.
be.
That's just
But
like Keenan
this
said in
has-
the background. Campfires and s'mores.
But this one has got depth. It's
No, that
got
was-
quality. It's got dankiness at the right moment, but then it falls off into this beautiful, I'm actually very drinkable, but I'm still aged. And then this doesn't taste like Maker's Mark.
I really think you could put somebody in a double blind with this, and they would have no clue what it is.
100%
And
agree.
if you told them it was Maker's Mark, they would be like, "You're lying to me."
100% agree. You could double blind that in a bourbon blind, and I don't think anybody would get Maker's Mark out of that.
Nope.
There's no chance.
No chance.
Yeah. And maybe that's what we should do.
I know. That might be a second video. There's another idea.
Alan.
I don't know. He might be the one that can pick it out, though.
Yeah, he's, when he brought back 12 bottles from the Bourbon Fest, he might have,
Yeah.
All right.
So
Last one. Cheers.
Yep.
For this one, if you need another glass, we'll get another glass real quick, and we'll do that one. But we'll rate this one real quick.
I'm good. I think I know where I'm going, but I'm gonna put you first. Where do you
put
think
me
you
on
go?
the spot.
Yep.
I was waiting. Okay, so we're going to start out 2025. Charles puts me on the spot.
Yes, indeed.
So it is hard for me to give this a high barrel stave char rating because it's a Maker's Mark product. But if you take away that name and all of those things in the past that I didn't have great experiences with, and then change what the experience was that I had with this, I'm going to give this and this is for me, really big, and I've given other scores. I'm going to go about 3.25.
All right.
But this won't hit 3.5 for me. It's above a 3 on the char. So we're not quite to the alligator char, the 4s, and above the 5s. We want to go there. So I'm going to give this is a solid 3 for sure, no doubt. Is this a must buy? If you have the money and the dollars make sense, this is a must try.
Yeah, it's a must try, even if it's not something. Go in with somebody or go to a bourbon place where they're serving it, bourbon bar, and get you a glass. Honestly, give it a try.
But yep, I'm going to go above a 3, but not a 3.5. So I'm going to go that 3.25, which isn't even a thing that we've even said.
Right. No, honestly, and so usually I just go 3 to 3.5. I was with you 100%. I was not going to go 3.5, so I was just going to stick with the 3. Okay. That's where I was at.
So I'm just above a 3. You're right at a 3.
Yep.
That's a great rating for me on a Maker's Mark product. It's a fantastic.
And see, for Maker's Mark, for me, we've said it in the other videos. For me, it's actually what I've always used for a mixer. It's a great mixer, but honestly, this I would not even put it in a mixer. This is great, straight.
Yeah. So give us your comments. Give your thoughts.
If you've had it, let us know what you think. All right, so now we're on to the toasted
marshmallow, which just says it should be extremely sweet. Again, cheers. What's in your glass? What do you guys think about Maker's Mark? Toasted marshmallow, Bourbon Festival, Cellar Aged Bourbon Festival.
Yep.
I get no.
Get Maker's Mark?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if I get I don't get marshmallow on the nose from the bottle. There's a lot of awkward silence right now.
There is. Ooh.
That's what the difference between rating bourbons versus bantering about things.
Yeah, because
there's in between where you have to actually compile your thoughts and think about it, which is fine. We don't do ratings all the time, but this was a good one to do.
I'm not. So I am getting a difference on the nose for sure.
There's almost like a. Could this be like a marshmallow campfire?
Hey, I do get a little like. Is it smokiness?
Almost compared to what we just had.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense because I don't normally ever say that.
Well, it's not. You would think oaky or something of that nature. You only get that on flavor, but I'm not getting. It's not double smoked or anything else like that.
Yeah. Have you guys had the toasted marshmallow? Were you at the Bourbon Festival and did you like it? Did you buy it? Would you rebuy it? That's our question. Answer that for us in the comments. And
so I guess maybe it's the sweet that I'm getting.
All right,
but it's not a sweet that I'm used to.
Okay, the palate has nothing to do with the nose.
Nope.
Whatsoever. At all.
Not at all.
Not even close.
I can tell you right now.
That is not even close to the nose. That's a stark opposite difference.
Yes, indeed.
Alan over here is making all kind of gestures in the background. So
I think he understands what we're going through.
Well, it tastes a lot better than it noses. I can tell you that. But I don't think we've had this much awkward silence in the video trying bourbon before. I don't know what to say.
I'm going to tell you right now. First sip.
Get the toasted marshmallow.
No, first sip from here to here. I'm telling you right, this is winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, but
it is not. Where's the toasted marshmallow?
It doesn't taste anything like that. It's got some sweetness.
But
it should be. It's a wheated bourbon.
But it's not.
But it doesn't have any of the taste like the smell. Alan, are you familiar with the toasted marshmallow?
Yes.
What's your thoughts on it?
I actually really enjoyed it. I got more sweetness on it than what you guys are saying, but I also didn't try Cellar Aged right before, which is so unimaginably unfair to Toasted Marshmallow by trying their flagship product, possibly the best thing they've ever released, right before
a stay finish.
Simple stay finish.
Hey, I got the sweetness from it, and I
am getting the sweetness.
And I enjoyed it. That part's fine. I'll take this over regular Maker's Mark.
Oh yeah.
But it does nothing like the nose. That's interesting. And if you have had this, let us know if you thought the nose complemented it or the palate was completely different. This is like a candied, sweet version of something.
It's almost, to me, it's almost like it's a step above 46 to me. I'm getting that, but see, I get that Makers. Second sip, I've already had 2 sips. I'm still getting that warmth here, and it's lingering, not nearly as much, but I do get the sweetness.
I remember the last time I had a marshmallow, and it didn't taste like bourbon.
This is a bourbon.
It's not a marshmallow.
But the sweetness to me is nowhere near a marshmallow or anything else like that. I do get the sweetness that he's trying to portray, I think.
Does it almost seem like a light honey?
Yes. To me, maybe they should just said honey instead of marshmallow.
Yeah, but not a honey barrel.
No, not a honey barrel.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. All right, so you put me on the spot for the cellar aged. I got one more sip to go.
I've got one more sip to go too.
I'm gonna put you on the spot first.
Hit that like and subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. All right, third one.
I feel like getting to the point where we're trying things to see what's their reaction.
For me, you put me on the spot. Right now for this, it's a 2. That's where I'm at. It's not one.
It's drinkable.
It's drinkable, but
It's approachable.
I
It's got some qualities to it that I can't figure out. I don't understand the label.
there's other Makers Marks that I've had that they sell that I like better. Some of their single barrels, everything, you know.
I can tell you this right now. You're being very generous. I'm not saying that this is bad. It's not bad. I'm gonna be able to finish with no problem. I've had several Makers Marks products that I was like, I can't do this. If I'm gonna give this, which I thought was outstanding for Makers Mark, caveat for Makers Mark, a 3.25,
Right.
but less than 3.5, I can't give that a 2.
I understand.
So I'm gonna go lower than that, and I'm gonna give that between a 1.5 and a 2 of some sort. But I've had other stay finishes that were so different.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I like those worse than this one.
Yeah.
But this one was better, and it still wasn't up to par with this one, which makes me think that the endless possibilities of these different staves. It's just you just don't know what you're gonna. It's like
It's a puzzle. It really is a puzzle, and you have to be good at puzzles to figure out what's going to be good on one of these, to be honest with you.
And so I like where they're doing these because it's a million combinations to figure whether you like it out, but it also costs a lot of dollars to be able to figure every single one of them out because that's a lot of dollars to try each one. And is this one going to put you off of the next one? This one won't.
No, in my opinion,
that one might.
My opinion, save the money from this and put it towards this.
Pending it's available, 100% agree.
Great.
100% agree.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, not bad.
Not bad. No.
Just
like two is what I
have to
give
be legit with our ratings. If we're going to be consistent with what we've been doing for all these years, so I went a little bit lower than you on that one. Went a little bit higher than you on this one because I was so impressed with this as a Maker's Mark.
Right.
But again, this is coming from a non-Maker's Mark person, but a very big person that enjoys bourbon on a regular basis. So I'm going to be at least honest.
Yep.
I'm not going to do this for, let's see if we can put every adjective out there and,
right.
and appeal to like you should no it's going to be demonstrative. You've got to figure this out. And what I would say is legitimately this one I'm not going to get mad after I spent the money. This one is going to be like every other stave pick. You could or could not get mad after you spent the money.
Yeah. Honestly, if you've had it,
just don't get mad at bourbon though. There's no reason to get mad at bourbon.
Yep. But let us know if you've had it. Put it in the comments, and really would like to hear what you have to say about it. If you've had either one of them. So.
Now, if we're cutting this off, but behind the scenes, I'm going control right after this.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
I'm waiting for that.
I'd be curious to know what their thoughts were on labeling it as toasted marshmallow.
Yeah.
Like what gave them that idea to name that.
So, in case you guys didn't hear in the background, curious as to what gave them the name for toasted marshmallow. And that's actually probably my biggest question. If you guys have had this and maybe you attended the Bourbon Festival and you tried it, do you agree or disagree? Why the heck did they name this toasted marshmallow? We get nothing of that.
No, not at all.
But we're not the people that are creating marketing labels
Exactly.
and or trying their barrels and creating blends. So this is just, 20 years plus of experience giving opinions on stuff that we've had a lot of opportunities to try that some people have not, and we're trying to let you guys know so that you guys know possibly which way to try or not try.
And if you've had it, let us know. Let us know your thoughts. Hit that like and subscribe button.
Yeah, and so I'll say, cheers for you guys. You got our 2 opinions, and thank you.
Thank you.